that I had in my pick'ems make it through to day 2. But TSM are no slouches, as we've come to learn. This is a proper battle between NA and EU. I can't wait to get it started.
Cannot wait to see it. It's going to be a very bloody battle here. And right now, I'm actually kind of excited to see Arco matching on the dash. We know that Invis is still a possibility here, but Carney on the M11 is going to be a dangerous beast to go up against.
Yeah, these lights are going to define a lot of the fights, as we've already been saying. I'm just thrilled to see lights of this caliber up against each other. Arco and Carney are some of the best in the world right now, it feels like. Apollo with the opening pick onto Carney, though, and Treason left scrambling as he's on low health, cannot recover. And that means that TSM have all but won this team fight, unless Palmer can produce some heroics here, but that dive isn't as perfect as he would have hoped. Apollo taking out Treason, Palmer retreating. TSM take the first blood.
Yeah, Palmer's dive not nearly as perfect as his hair, but TSM, they are going to be able to bring Vault 1 all the way over to Cash Out B. This is going to really be a good start as far as TSM is concerned, especially... Oh no.
You can't do the scream because you're on mic. Okay, I'll take the mic away from you. There we go. It's a tradition now to have Ardy scream into the void at any pause. But to be fair, it's been a long time since the last one. And I do love that he's running the Embark Partner sticker on the Vault. It's fun to see what people have on those. My favorite one so far is still Nigiri with the Nigiri.
I was told, thankfully, that this pause is brief.
So instead of a it's more of a
Yeah, pretty much. That's the one. They're already back. Look at that. There we go. Alliance here, ready to run in. Treason is going to be coining back in. Alliance wasting absolutely no time. But TSM, they don't have any time to waste either. They have zip lines to clear. They have ultimate height to get to. They have some pre-placed, I guess, gateways to pre-place. And Alliance, they're making their way through the building in the bottom side. And TSM are holding this height very well. Jerry, it looks like that fight's about to start off strong, though.
Yes, it's a good position for Apollo and Visions. They have the vision from above. They can Arco some shots down above them. Yeah, that was a bit of a stretch. Here we go, Palmer and Treason getting on that point. That jump immediately from Palmer, really well guarded with the dome. You love to see that bit of tech jumping up through, and now Palmer losing a lot of health. He's juiced back up. Palmer wins that fight, but Arco cleaning him back up. Heavies and mediums and lights all alive. Arco finds his second. Carnifex's the last alive now, and he has to Scarper. That's another win, essentially, for TSM, unless Carney can maybe get a little backstab here. He decides against.
Yeah,
Okay, we're going to get ready for... Well, we don't know how long this one is going to be. Oh, that was an additional screen there as Waltz joined
a guest appearance. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the nice room reverb built into that one. I feel like I'm the one that's keeping their head, which is nice. I like playing the straight guy on the mic sometimes.
It's nice that you're keeping your head. I'm shaking and crying.
You actually are.
Hey, look at that. Wait, look at the Holto server insurance. Oh, I love that.
We need some of that, yeah.
All right, we got all the Alliance stands here.
How are we being hit by CNS in the Via half of this map? That's what I don't understand.
Where else would they hit? You think CNS would hit the CNS side of the map?
These are the front lines, to be fair.
Yeah.
Wait, Apollo is...
Again, this should be rather quick. Bogo's Witted. Looking to see everybody. Big shout out to the aliens. Saw you guys on Reddit as well. Wow, look at this. Beautiful face. He's got an insane jawline.
I love that you picked that out.
We
are getting back into game, and Carnifex has duly decided to leave, so you haven't missed much at all. TSM getting set back up for the defense, and they only have to defend for, what, another 40 seconds or so. These coins coming back in, so Alliance will have another attempt, but it's going to be one of these dashes towards the point. Look at that vertical control on the sidelines.
Alliance has burned through a lot of coins by this point. That's very good showing for TSM and what they can do. I mean, especially we were talking earlier about the caliber of these players, about the caliber of the revolvers. They're both running revolvers, but Vision seems to be giving Treason every single time. Apollo going to be starting this dome here. Kind of interesting given the presence of goo around here. Instantly glitched out though, but Carney and Treason, their health bars are dwindling. Palma, 1 HP, gonna get absolutely deleted here.
Wow.
Treason somehow still alive, but even if he gets the defib, not going to be looking very good for Alliance.
I massively respect TSM here because that was a fight they didn't need to commit to. They didn't need to win it, but they did anyway. The time was on their side at a point during that. They just rolled home, and they are just straight up looking like the better side right now. 100% of the team fights, 100% of the cash outs, everything's going their way on Nozomi Citadel.
This is, again, EU not beating the allegations. NA is just so good. Apollo, Visions, Arco, this squad has been through so much, yet they're still able to perform like this. Alliance, see what's going to be possible here this next fight.
It's unbelievable to think. Yesterday we were wondering if this team were even able to compete, and now here they are, putting up a fight against possibly the strongest EU side. And actually dominating them so far. Visions in a fight with Palmer, a bit of a 1v1. They both duck out of it. Funfix getting juiced back up. They want a cleaner engage than that, it seems. And Treason takes out Arco with a nasty shot. That must have been a headshot with a revolver to clean up the light, and now they can storm forward. Visions isn't going to get an opportunity to hit that defib because he's locked horns with Palmer. Palmer comes out on top with a bit of an assist from Carnifex. Apollo left scrambling here in the 1 versus 2. Does a lot of damage, and actually might be able to do it. Oh, so close. That was a bit too close for comfort for Alliance, but they do come out on top as they should have.
But that was 1 winch away from winning. That is as physically close as these fights can come. And that was a vault fight, Jerry. That was over a vault that didn't even get tapped yet.
It bodes well. I'm excited to see that Alliance have finally won a fight. It took a lot of effort, but maybe they're going to wake up and warm into this one a little bit here. Objective C being chosen here on the data center side of Nozomi, and we are going to see whether they set up quickly enough. There's actually been a fairly favorable spawn for Alliance, despite the fact that they weren't able to set up and manipulate it.
Oh, nice. A little bit of a vanish, a little bit of a dash, a little bit of a gateway, but fortunately for Arco, that vanish doesn't bring them very far. Alliance, of course, has covered those jumps with goo, both up. In fact, that's some good efficiency. So
good efficiency, you could say. Well, I mean, you could have said it, but you chose not to, and that says it's more about me than you, to be honest.
Well, they're going to have to cross not only the gap, but also the divide from the Via side into the CNS side, and these glitches are going to try to make that a bit easier there, but Treason, he's still going to stay up. Arco just, oh, wait, he bought all of their attention, and Apollo Visions, I didn't even notice them crossing.
I'm going to need another look at that one. We both didn't. That was so out of the blue. How did TSM win that fight?
Alliance also didn't notice them crossing.
Yeah,
that's how.
Yeah, if you're good enough that you can beat the free cam that has outlines on everyone, then you're sure as hell good enough to beat a team that has to experience it all from a first-person perspective. Here's that replay.
Here's the replay. Oh, look at this. Yeah, they just came in.
Just
Arco was able
just
to place the gateway. I didn't realize Arco was able to throw the gateway. I think Carney also probably thought that he got glitched. That's insane. You can look now. Palma, Carney, and Treason. They're trying to run across there. Crossing this gap is going to be so difficult. Oh, the first part of the gateway was placed, but it was glitched. You have Carney taking so much damage there, and granted, Alliance did cross, but Jerry, it's getting close, and the timer, it's ticking down. They have to push this. All Apollo needs to do is play stall exactly once.
And he has a C4 to do so. He's got Visions in tow as well, who has his own methods of stalling. They've got the goo, just put things in the way and run. That's the prayer. He should hit the C4 at some point. They have to blow it up to drop it down. I don't think they're going to even get on it in time, so now Visions goes for some clips. Does get taken out by Carnifex, maybe a little bit too proud of himself, but it doesn't matter because that is it. Done in 2. TSM have claimed Nozomi Citadel, and they made it look easy, Arnie.
Alliance didn't even push the right floor there. They had assumed that Palma was going to be able to drop it. The RPG and the C4, Jerry, there was no chance to even use them, let alone have the time to win the fight and then steal. That was insane. TSM is impeccable.
They weren't even close.
Look at them.
Yeah, and you know, it just looks like another day at the office for them. They're so comfortable with that win. They're just, right, on to the next one.
They got off the plane 24 hours ago.
That's incredible. And the fact is that they would have wanted the quickest route through. Space Station denied them that. But here they are with a second wind, trying to force their way through to day 2 by beating another Titan in Alliance. It doesn't get much harder than this. And like I've said, they have just impressed me at every turn today. They just need to see it over the line, though. They were so close against Space Station, remember?
They were. It was really close, and that goes to show just how tough both Space Station and Alliance are. But I have to say, Alliance, this team is just, they are so good. And TSM just made them look like, I don't know, a pubs team.
Rank amateurs.
Yeah, and granted, this is also Alliance PHL Season 2 winners for EU.
And TSM at PHL didn't do that. They just didn't make it.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't there.
This is, dare I say it, not something that is of having a precedent.
Yeah, you're very close to
See how I
saying
didn't say the word I always say?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I think to be fair, I haven't said crucial quite as much this time around.
You just said it.
Damn it. And you know what else? I also lost the game. And I think so did
everybody
17,000
whose
people.
knees hurt in chat just made their knees hurt more, I guess. Half of the people that are alive today are immune to that, Jerry.
That's true. Yeah, that's a very old, that's an ancient meme. I think from before memes were a thing, really. But still, it is a pleasure of mine to tell 17,000 people and more that they have lost the game. We should move on to this game, though. TSM certainly haven't lost it yet. I say yet, as though they even will. You know, like they could win it all.
Hey, this is Fortune Stadium. Remember that Alliance has been banning this map all day. We're finally here with Alliance and TSM. We saw TSM do great things on this map earlier.
But if we were to pick a map for Alliance,
It would be this one.
Fortune Stadium is their domain, their bastion, setting up on the top of Sector 5. Possibly at this point, there's something remarkable about how often we see these guys taking up positions they must know like the back of their hand. TSM going for that sneaky jump pad play up the back of the building. Let's see if it works for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is where Alliance wins so many of their fights and scrims. Surely they're going to be able to do it here on match day as well, although it's already looking a bit disjointed here. Treason is keeping Palma alive, attached to the hip there with that heal beam, and that damage is being chunked through onto Apollo right now, and currently it does seem that it's going to be a trade. 1-for-1 heavy for heavy, but Visions also goes down here. But Palma gets rezzed up. This is a huge turn of events here for Alliance, but Palma is still getting chunked through, but that's TSM getting wiped early on. This is Alliance's map.
Yeah, and they just state their claim. They said, you know, ignore Nozomi Citadel. Here is where the series starts, and we're going to 2-0 it. That was impressive. The disrespect on this final kill as well, we didn't actually see it from Treason's perspective, but it was onto Arco, who just immediately got two-tapped by a revolver.
Yeah.
That says something about Treason. He's really comfortable here, and if he's hitting his shots with the revolver, then anything's possible.
Spawn control, spawn control, spawn control. This is why Alliance on Fortune Stadium is so hard to beat, especially on Hospital. Arco, though, he made it look easy to get past it. He crossed immediately with a gateway, bringing the team under. They're going to have to take this fight. Wait, they're going up the top this way. That's a very, very good approach here. Carnifex down to half HP. He's forced to drop to the bottom there. Treason follows, gets that heal beam into his back, but where is Palma? That is the question.
I feel as though we've just been given the blueprint for dismantling that. Palma is still in Sector 5, by the way. He's behind the whole of TSM right now. But TSM don't care. They are bubbling up. They are climbing this building. Palma doesn't need to get back. He might be given a handy gateway to help him. Alliance do have time to regroup.
Yeah, well, we are going to be seeing Apollo go for the drop there. All of Alliance have recombined up on the very top floor. Arco looking to try to get an angle here as Visions and Apollo convene on the staircase.
That's some good intel.
Oh! The goo cancels the winch here. Apollo, half HP, Visions as well. Alliance raining in from above, but Arco, he's able to get at least a little bit of damage out. The trade, 1-for-1, heavy for medium. That doesn't mean Alliance can at least get a quick res up. TSM's not going to have that safety. Treason goes in for the res at the same time. Goo is going to stall it out. TSM, once again, down to just their heavy. Palma getting healed back up, but Treason goes down once more. This is actually winnable here by Apollo if he gets the reload in time, which he does. He gets the win from McCarney. McCarney is just better in his domain.
That was a close fight. It was a really good fight, and Apollo showing us his shack skills at the end there, but it wasn't working out for TSM. A really staunch defense. Honestly, TSM didn't do much wrong there. That was a really nice approach, not just onto Sector 5 to get the initial collapse to that site, but also in Hospital itself when it came to the push.
But that is the beauty of a multi-layered defense. Not only do they have to fight to cross out of the Angimo building, then they have to fight on top of Sector 5, then they have to fight for the cross, and they have to fight for inside, and that's what Alliance does.
You have to win twice to win once, and that's the beauty of that defense. Really, really tough to crack, especially with such experts as Alliance. A lot of teams are doing it now, but they know it better than anyone.
Absolutely. The best defense is a good whatever this is.
Well, this is a defense of Sector 3 as well, as they have tapped the Vault, TSM, and Alliance are actually currently screening against C. They'd rather TSM move it all the way over to A, based on their positioning. They're also just holding this because it's a nice vantage point, and it maybe gives them a chance for jump pad engage if they see an opening. Treason with a nice little head glitch angle, and we can see Vision's trying to match him on that, but his goo isn't quite as well placed as just the geometry on the hotel building on the other side. Unfortunately, it's going to take ages to get anywhere, and they do the scouting. Alliance are already gone.
Alliance, they're moving so fluidly. TSM, they're somewhat able to match, but look at this. The moment that that vault is picked up, Alliance has already teleported to the other side of the map. And that's dedication to the craft. But TSM, with that bait successfully activated, they're going to be able to go all the way over to Isolt Sector 4 in the dorms building and get this plug.
Alliance are right underneath right now. They're running on the ground level of this building, and they're going to take the mega pad in the middle. Arco will have heard that, and he's going to stay put.
Vault fight not won. This is dangerous territory for TSM.
No chance to set up the defense. That being said, Alliance are going in with their own defenses. They're throwing goo aggressively here to try and close the net. And they've actually forced TSM off the point, and they could maybe enact themselves a steal. But of course, TSM could go beneath and start playing for drop if they choose.
Let's see what's going to happen right now is Alliance. They're on top. They're on top of the world. They're on top of TSM.
Holy shot!
Oh my God! TSM just got deleted.
Carnifex just points and clicks at every orange blob on his screen. And that's TSM gone in an instant. Treason with a couple of clicks as well. You didn't get to see it from his perspective, but that was a dope-ass take.
Yeah, and now let's see what Alliance can do here to set up another multi-layered defense. Genuinely, I think we get map 3.
Yeah, Alliance are showing mastery on this map that we haven't seen for a while. This is the caliber of gameplay that we should come to expect as we dwindle our numbers down to just those top 8 making it through to tomorrow. Apollo is going to take the brunt of a massive RPG. What a dive from Palmer. Treason on the cleanup, and just like that, TSM are toast.
That is insane. TSM, that's 50 seconds of respawn required for less than 5 seconds of fight across 2 team fights.
I don't even think TSM have a chance to get back in.
I've never seen that before. Alliance, we're on the next map. We're on map 3.
We're on map 3 now.
Chat, that's done. Now we're
That's just an outrageous map from Alliance. I mean,
this is the craziest part, is the 5D chess, is that Alliance has been banning this map. They've been trying to
they've been hiding it, yeah. That's genius. I mean, they're so ahead of the game. We did say at the start of this one, what we're watching right now is just a bit of a victory lap for Alliance as they take that first map. We said they need to mentally reset. They need to say, you know what, Nozomi, Citadel, ignore it. This is the start of a series. We're going to do it in 2. That's one way to take us to the 3rd map.
Yeah. I mean, every other team is playing checkers, and Alliance is playing the finals.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to be playing given the current situation. I don't think you get very far playing checkers in this tournament. You want to be playing the finals.
I guess you weren't watching the C stream, Jerry. The checkers stream.
Ah, no, I wasn't. I was busy casting.
Oh.
And you were too.
I multitask.
Well, I don't know where to go from that.
I don't know where to go from that. I mean, we're on map 3 now. This has been explosive. Dare I say, explosive.
You did dare say explosive. You did that already.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the explosive moment, really. It was over in a flash, and the stats are pretty good. But, I mean, because it was so quick, I don't think that does justice to just how impressive Alliance were.
I mean,
like, we're looking at the stats right now. We can see that it's, 9 assists for Palmer, which is really strange.
Here's what I'm looking at.
Everyone's cleaning up his kills.
Here's what I'm looking at. 5 total deaths for Alliance.
Yep.
And I believe that's 13 total deaths for TSM.
Yeah.
That is an insane way to put it.
Also a telling stat, just as we throw on into the next map. No revives coming out for TSM during that. They were on the back foot a lot, but more importantly, they never managed to get a defib off.
It's because Alliance was able to very clearly target exactly where Visions was headed.
Yeah, it's almost as though they had
Visions
of where he was.
Yeah.
We're actually finishing each other's...
Treason.
Oh, I thought you were going to say sandwiches, but treason is... I don't think that even works as an end of a sentence. We'll work on the synergy, ladies and gents. But more importantly, since Horizon is on the docket and we've already got our teams positioned around Vault 1.
Oh, yeah. Oh, TSM, they're going for... The NA teams love to do this. They cut all noise, they crouch, and they look kind of cool while they do it. Alliance, though, they've just made footsteps because they like having fun. Now we have TSM trying to find the way around. Now, this isn't an elimination game here, of course.
This is a qualification game.
But this is a qualification game.
Today, too.
So, you're not going to go home, but you actually, well, you can go home, but you'll come back tomorrow.
Well, not all the way home.
Not all the way home.
Yeah, most people are staying
Back to the hotel.
All right. Barricade donated to Apollo. He's going to make good use of this with the head glitch angle. Unfortunately, the dome shield evaporated by that glitch in return, and we've got trench warfare ensuing here. TSM coming out the loss here. A little Apollo taken out. The defib comes out, but a quick winch from Palmer as they storm through with this snowball. And again, TSM quickly losing that fight.
This is a little bit telling of maybe what the situation was on map 1. Alliance might have just not been familiar with TSM's game, and once they've got into the second map, they realized they needed to lock in. And just like they did on Fortune Stadium, here on Sis Horizon, they are pulling every single trick out of their book.
What's very funny is that Apollo in that fight looked like he was doing fantastically well until the barricade that Palmer left behind just disappeared. And then he started dying, and then the whole of TSM fell apart. Alliance are now in a position of defense above the point. They're going to try and pick off Arco in the distance while the rest of TSM are just sticking the steal. They don't care about this. Alliance are happy to try and win the fight in the post.
Yeah, Apollo just gets that steal completely for free, but unfortunately, they paid later. That's going to be Arco now, just 23 HP. Carney, of course, going to be able to finish that through, and Alliance is looking ruthless.
Yeah, that's what bad credit will do to you. Don't buy things that you can't afford. TSM could not afford to make that steal in the position they were. Alliance were literally on top of them.
Yeah, well, hey, if they don't make it through to day 2, they might not be able to afford the 4 easy payments either. See what happens with Alliance as, well, looks like Carney and Palma are trying to hold on for these respawns, control exactly where they come from. And yeah, TSM, they've been spotted immediately trying to exit the library, but library card...
He does get the gateway out. That's important because they now have a cleaner way around. But no, it's just a route to a death hole. They've gatewayed from one alleyway to the other, and now Alliance will gobble them up. TSM, Arco's just sold them down the river with that gateway.
Alliance has just bullied TSM to the point where they don't get to spawn anymore.
Apparently not. This is Alliance in full swing, and Alliance in full swing is a team that spawn traps and does not let go. They will take a bite out of you and hold on with all their might.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's so ruthless.
I don't know if there's time to come back. Yeah, TSM doesn't have this.
No, they've got a position instead to try and screen for the next vault, or just get the tap on the next vault. They've lost this one, Ardy, and they are now, well, not one loss away from going home here, as you mentioned.
Alliance is 1 win away from being able to go back to the hotel.
And coming back tomorrow.
Coming back on day 2.
Most importantly, joining Fnatic, joining all the NA teams that have booked their spot already. Envy, Alliance, no, not Alliance, I was about to reel them off and I got them wrong. Envy, Fnatic, Nightmare, and Space Station Gaming, as well as Fnatic.
As well as Fnatic. TSM in control of Vault 2 on campus. Cash Out B conveniently located across the other side. Alliance in the art hall. They are crossing over to the museum to try and have a little bit of extra time to, well, get the collapse in over to B. But I think TSM, they have spotted them out. You see Arco maneuvering with his gateway to swap through. This is good macro. Oh, but Alliance was right there. They heard the gateway. They found it.
It doesn't matter how good your macro is. If you read it like that, that is so smart. Just on top of everything there from Alliance, and now Vision's the last one alive. Clowneffects can get going already. He trusts his teammates to deal with that. Vision does actually get the res, though, so he's being called back here to make sure that it's not 2 versus 2. He needs to come on in. Doesn't get the heals off. He just managed to get the transfer and finally lands the shot onto Apollo. Just a little bit of a delay there with the barricade in the way. Good thing he didn't leave that fight. Clowneffects absolutely needed to make sure that they didn't spill the beans.
I think Alliance has the fastest team fight per capita in this tournament.
Oh, right now, yeah.
Easily.
If we started tracking team fight length, their stat would be, I was about to say through the roof, but that implies that it's a large number. It would be a small
golf
number.
rules.
Through the floor.
Golf rules, it is through the floor.
Yeah, which is good for them.
I mean, this is kind of wild. All right, well, TSM, this is everything. Arco is just getting completely sloshed on the outside.
They managed to cross the road. That's the hardest part of this approach and the hardest part of dealing with Alliance, it seems. So, in the same building at the very least, a very long building, they'll have time to work out their routes. It looks like Trees and the rest of Alliance are setting up for this jump pad engage.
Jump pad engage, ready to go. There it is. RPG goes through, doesn't quite connect, but the winch doesn't need to connect here. Arco goes down. Look at that aim coming out from Palma. The barricade signature of Palma. Damage being dealt through. Vision's gonna get taken away here. H+ Infuser and Clutch. Also that barricade's coming.
And they're gonna stall it.
They go for the stall as best as they can.
They're healing him.
They heal the glitch.
They're preventing him from RPGing himself.
Oh, this is it. Alliance have essentially done it. They're trying to prevent any form of respawn. Arco will likely have to coin it. He's dead. No! Oh, he found gas. He found gas.
But Arco's coming back in.
Arco coined. No way. Arco, you have no idea what you've just done, Arco.
That is terrifying. Apollo is now not going to be a part of the last fight. Arco needs to go huge here and find a pick to allow him and Visions to push in.
I guess enough time had elapsed. They needed to do this. They needed to.
Yeah, it was just taking the biscuit at that point. Alliance has done such a good job of stalling that death. Visions has the play from above, but look at this kite. It's so fully set from Alliance. The damage comes out. Vision does actually find the defib on Apollo, so he's back in the action with about 20 seconds left. Apollo goes straight back down.
Alliance!
Vision taken out. Arco getting kill after kill, but it doesn't matter as Alliance do it in 3. What a series. They started slow, but oh my God, they were unstoppable once they hit the tracks.
I mean, how lucky are we to get this kind of gameplay at the Grand Major? There's Alliance soaking in their victory. So many of their fans in the crowd. They've qualified to day 2, but they're not out of the running yet. They've made top 8, but the greatest victory comes through top 4. This was such an incredible match. They will join Fnatic as the second EU team to make it. But, Jerry, that's enough from us. Waltz, solo carrying the desk.
Solo, that's true. Look, Alliance finally ascend to the heavens. They've made it to day 2. Incredible stuff from them. Like you said, they got started off a little bit slow, but they finally made it through. It's been a long day. They made it through all of those elimination matches, and clearly they were only just getting warmed up. It was an incredible moment, and I have to say I'm really excited to see what this team can pull up on day 2, because that sort of mental resiliency, that is hard to come by. The ability to go through, get knocked down so many times, and have to go through that meat grinder of a lower bracket that we had over on the B stream, that is something impressive. It's really hard to keep your mental up. For TSM, obviously, the journey is not yet over. They may have missed out on their shot, but they still have a couple more, because there are a few slots left on that day 2. So we will not be saying goodbye to TSM. In fact, we will actually be following TSM into this next match. That's what's coming up next for us. They're going to be going up against DRG, a team that has quickly become a fan favorite, and I am excited to see them. So goodbye to Alliance. We'll see you tomorrow. Get some good rest. Head back to your hotel. Take a load off. You've earned it at this point. But now, here we are moving into the next match in our bracket, and the finals never stops coming. It never disappoints. It's a truly incredible thing. And how did you get here?
We gatewayed.
Oh,
Yeah.
In Alliance fashion.
Yeah,
Impressive gateway.
Yeah, Carney taught me
Yeah.
how to throw them, so we're
Yeah.
here now.
We're ahead
Now,
of the game.
You want to see a magic trick?
Actually, yes.
I predicted the winner of that match.
How?
Reach into my coat pocket.
We didn't see you put this in there in the first place, so this doesn't work. But I'm still amazed.
Yo!
Ooh, look at that.
Can you see that on stream? It's a very small alliance kit.
Now, a couple matches have been happening off the stream, by the way. On the B stream, we have had some matches, and there have been a couple eliminations as well. We had a cash-out elimination that we do have some replays from, and Rio and Sensoya are holding down the fort over there. So we have some highlights from those. You guys are going to take a look at those. These teams were duking it out.
All right, well, this is absolutely news to us. We haven't kept ourselves updated on it, so let's just follow through the flow of this.
This is actually good. You can see Team Secret pulls up here in the very beginning, the slight lead. Pulsar Blue started off so strong, but after this moment, it's all downhill. Pulsar Blue, they look to be in full control here as Ape Squad came in and stole this crucial cash out. This seemed to be the moment that Pulsar could not keep up. And as Team Secret on the other side of the map, they had a completely free set to them. King Zero showed a lot of control. Jerry, this didn't end up very well for Pulsar or for Ape Squad.
No, unfortunately, both
For King
Pulsar,
Zero.
Sorry,
Pulsar and King Zero are out. Unfortunately, Ape Squad
like,
continued forward.
Ape Squad with this
A last
second
minute steal, this one.
Yeah, right here. See, we're learning. We're learning as we go. And Ape Squad must have at some point gotten this steal
Right here.
despite that bounce back,
Right here.
despite the defense of about 5 teams.
Against every odd
Right
somehow.
here.
Even though this
Not
is
there.
Pulsar stealing right now.
Not there.
Oh my god, it really did
my
do it in
God.
How
about
did they
20
get? Wait,
seconds.
actually, how did they get this? How did they?
No
what?
way.
Wow.
That's insane.
There
right
are-
here.
Nobody left on the map.
Besides OG.
Well, that was
Wow.
deserved. That was incredibly deserved.
Wow. I mean, I'm going to have to go back and watch that entire VOD because that looks like a crazy game.
Right? They got the good match over there. That was something
You
incredible.
said the good match as though Alliance versus TSM was not just a banger. And I disrespect that.
It was they were all good matches, you know, but I mean,
Every match is a good match here at the Grand Major 2025.
there are great matches, and there are greater matches, and then there are even greater matches, and we're going to see one of those matches next.
Yeah, and there are cash-out elimination matches. Those are pretty great. but
pretty
Those
great.
are those. We do, so as we move in, we are going to be talking about those next one, but of course we are going to say goodbye to Pulsar and King Zero. 2 more teams are dropping out, and we are incredibly sad to see them go. A lot of work has been put into this, and it's hard to watch that much effort be, taken away from these teams, but that does allow us to move in. Of course, we do have a loser interview from Oscar. Let's go ahead and talk to our
Oscar.
Oscar, take it away.
Oscar.
Well, welcome back to DreamHack. You can clearly tell that the studio's getting tired because we're dealing with a winner interview. I'm standing here with Carnifex! And joining us as well, Mr. Palma himself. All right, Carne, it's been a really long day. You could have had an easy way out, but choose to take the hard way. But now you're finally going to day 2. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. We do it the Alliance way. Lose the first rounds always, and then come back. But yeah, that's Alliance.
That's Alliance. And were you at any point of today worried at all? Or were you always feeling, we're going to make day 2, I feel calm?
I mean, 12 men are always scary to play, but we've always been really confident in our team, and yeah.
So towards the end of that 3v3, I felt like something happened right there. We're heading into game 3, and it's like something woke up. Did you guys have a quick 30-second talk in between game 2 and game 3? Because it felt like there was an even better alliance that went into game 3.
Yeah, I think we just warm up a bit during the maps. First maps, we also had some tech issues, not to take anything away from TSM, they played great. But yeah, we just warm up during the first few maps.
All right, well, there you have it. It takes the Alliance about 8 hours to warm up, but when they're finally warmed up, they win games. Hey, thank you both so much for being on stage with me. Go enjoy the victory. See you back tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you to all the fans out there. This is for you. And to all the haters, fuck you.
Aye, off we go. Back to the break. Thank you so much. This has been the stage. It's all going to crazy. See you after the break.
the stars. Distant, watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Major continues. It does not get worse. It only gets better with every single game. I'm Waltz, joined by Artie and Jerry. We have a few more games for you. It's not over yet. The night has not ended. It feels almost as if it will go on forever, which would be amazing, but sometimes we have to call it. Let's see where we are, though, because there's been so many matches, it's easy to get lost. Let's take a look at that bracket and figure out not only where we are, what's left, and what's going to be happening tomorrow, because there's still a few games left and a few slots.
Still a few games, still a few slots, 2 slots to be clear. We have 2 places remaining for day 2. Here's the bracket. So, Polestar King 0, the most recent eliminations. That leaves 4 teams still alive. That's DRG, TSM, Team Secret, and Ape Squad. 2 of these teams will come back tomorrow. 2 of these teams will go home tonight.
It has been a long run for so many of these teams, but for us, the ones we're looking at right now, DRG and TSM have had the exact same run. On the other side of the map, Team Secret and Ape Squad also the exact same path. to get there. They have had the longest possible day that they possibly could, moving all the way through the lower bracket, through the elimination matches, losing cash outs, but surviving by the skin of their teeth. That's taking place on our B stream over on the ProHubs TF Twitch. You got check out if you want to see that match out. But we are going to be taking a look at DRG and TSM because these are our last matches of the day, Artie. We eventually got to go to sleep, and so we're going to have some matches tomorrow, but 2 qualifier slots left. One today.
100%. I mean, we did say it's day 2. We will have technically a day 1 match
on
happening
day 2.
On day 2.
Our last match gets pushed.
CNS.
Stuff happens.
But that does mean, again, DRG and TSM, one of them is going to be winning. One of them is moving to day 2, where we will see them. And you guys just got to watch a phenomenal game where TSM didn't quite make it. You also got to watch DRG. You know, go through and also fall a little bit short. Both of those teams have been so close so many different times. They've had opportunities, they've had chances, and they've come up short on every single 3v3. They've won every cash-out match they've been in and faltered any time that they're only facing one opponent. Why do you think that is?
It's a good question. I think with TSM, it's a difficult one to answer, actually, because it's difficult to say what they've been doing wrong. That last game against Alliance, we really just saw Alliance play incredibly well. And when TSM are playing well, they seem incredible. On DRG's side, there's a lot of chaos, right? You know, we've seen this side bring snipers to Bernal. We've seen them bring charge and slams. They're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not, but it feels like it's more geared towards that cash out, that quick cash style of play. And when they come into 3v3s, maybe they meet their match at better teams. I would put TSM as my favorite in this particular matchup to maybe make it on their 3rd try, because they've had 3 chances to get through, and at every, or 2 chances to get through, and at every step they've failed so far. But
I will say this: when that first map happened with TSM versus Alliance, TSM blew me away. Alliance then continued to blow TSM away so fast that they didn't get a chance to respawn for half of both of those next maps. But I do still put TSM at a very high power rating because of that performance on that map 1. I think that if they were able to take a little step away, a little break, a little reset mentally, I think they actually have what it takes to overcome the odds that are, well, the APAC wildcard of DRG.
it's worth mentioning as well that at the moment, we have only one APAC team left in the tournament, and it is DRG. So they have the hopes of not only China, but an entire set of continents on their shoulders. If they want to make it to day 2, this is their best opportunity now. They have to beat TSM.
And they've impressed every step of the way. It really has been incredible to see Apex show up and truly surprise, I think, almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
So many people were talking, there was Korea, it's been around longer, it's going to do better. And then DHR show up and say, hey, don't forget about us, right?
Hathaway blew me away. What can I say? Genuinely.
He hath a way with words and bullets.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I'm really digging the bottom of the barrel of these puns.
We really worked for that one. We really worked for that one. That's why we're going to bed, guys. You know, it's not. We got to get away from Jerry's puns eventually.
Yeah.
I apologize to you.
Maps are here. DRG. They've done a lot of stuff, but because of that means that we're going to be out here on Seoul. TSM is going to pick Fortune Stadium. Last map going to be Las Vegas Stadium. I'm a big fan of all of these.
I love that we're getting Seoul.
Yeah.
I love that we're getting Seoul in a 3 versus 3. This is something we haven't seen
Wait,
yet.
you're right.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think that maybe will definitely...
It's only been seen on the lower brackets, on the B stream so far. It showed up once there as well. So you're right. No, Seoul, though, a very unpicked map when it comes to the 3v3s so far. And just in general, people don't really like Seoul, but why don't they really like Seoul?
I love Seoul.
I love Seoul, personally. I genuinely, especially after they've made the changes on the rooftop on Hospital, I really like it. The Greenway has a very nice area now where you can, be saved from a little bit of shots from the top. You have a nicer area. It's a little bit shorter, easier to cross, easier to throw a little gateway.
Yeah.
Does that make it easier to push? Not really.
No. And of
but
course,
I like it more.
But there's also the actual construction. that really dominates the map. And obviously, we play in Under Construction because it feels like a more fleshed out version of that map. It removes the kind of impenetrable hole in the middle of this donut-shaped map. But it also does mean that you get a lot of cash outs spawning up there. It gives you ultimate height over every single part of the map. So we see teams at the very start of games quite often just take control of it and try to win the fights that way, regardless of where the vault spawns.
I will say, if DRG is planning on pulling out something like Charge and Slam, I don't know if that's going to be very good on Seoul, to be honest with you. I don't know if they will, but we've seen crazy things from these APAC teams.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the aim that TSM has shown is going to do a lot to win them, because the thing about Under Construction is that the sight lines are so open if you can claim that top cash out, right? And we saw that a lot. We saw that the only other time that it did show up is Fnatic was able to just own, as soon as they took that top point, actually, interestingly enough, against one of the other APAC teams.
Yeah.
You know, in the elimination match, they were able to go ahead and take that out, and that was the deciding factor is when you get that up top construction point, the jump that you have to make is basically a death sentence.
It ends a lot of teams. We've seen so many just barely even make it to construction, or, you know, one person makes it across and the others get sniped out of midair or beamed out of midair. It's tough. It's real tough.
Hey, let alone when you finish off the cash outs on top of the construction and then Vault 2 spawns over on Hospital. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to play that.
We've talked for the past 2 minutes about how Seoul is a difficult map. That's why it's such a surprise to see it here, right? That's our map 1 in the series. We will, of course, move on to map 2, and then maybe map 3.
Yeah. I hope we get a map 3. We started off the day with a lot of 2-0s.
Yeah.
Right? But hopefully we do get that map 3. And you're right, Vegas Stadium is another one that hasn't been seen a ton. We have kept to a lot of kind of our safe maps, the maps that people really enjoy that have been picked for a very, very long time. And this time we finally get something a little bit different. Vegas Stadium has been one of those maps that has had a lot of adjustment over the years, especially since the remake, you know? So it started off as a very close range map. It's developed into a long range map where teams use the sightlines on the upper ground. How do you think they're going to be playing it? Because I feel like these teams have similar styles.
I think that when it comes to TSM, we've already kind of seen how they approach the choices of you could just stick to the rooftops or you can go through the winding rooms inside. And honestly, for TSM, I don't think they need to make any adjustments like they do against Alliance. Against Alliance, they need to make adjustments, right? But up against DRG, maybe the way that TSM is currently approaching it, it'll be fine. What do you think, Jared?
It's entirely possible. I feel like the hardest thing with DRG is trying to get a handle on what their identity, what they do, off the back of 5, maybe 6 games. And so they do, of course, just have the ability to turn up and completely surprise us at any given moment, as they have done multiple times today. So, yeah, I feel like bets are off, but TSM maybe just have the skill to deal with whatever is thrown at them. That's my gut feeling if I were to sum it up.
As long as, I mean, the elephant in the room here is that maybe the reason that those last 2 maps felt decisive when we watched TSM versus Alliance, maybe they hit a wall. They have been, again, going the long way. They have very little sleep. They literally landed 24 hours and 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, they're on our last game of the day. This is the worst case scenario for them in terms of, you know, welfare and just trying to keep themselves awake and alive, alert, enthusiastic, and, you know, all of these important things that go into being an esports professional gamer.
Yeah. The one thing that it is a benefit to these teams as they look towards this map. When they get to this match, if you win, you guaranteed a spot in the top 8. Because we're moving that one match to tomorrow, if they lose, they're still guaranteed to play tomorrow. They're just going to be playing in an elimination map straight off of the gate.
Time to rest, though.
They get lots of time to rest, and that's going to be, I think, the key. TSM finally get that rest that they've been looking for. You know, they made it far enough that they are going to get to take a breather. They're going to be able to go home, take that shower they need, go ahead and get some sleep, get some beauty rest, come back fresh for an elimination match if they lose. But they still have the chance to take this away. With that, we finally have our game ready. We're going to go ahead and jumping into it, and we're going to be doing a TriCast, guys. I can jump in with you.
Yeah, come on in.
Let's do it. Let's cozy up.
Let's do it. Let's cozy up. We'll cuddle up. We'll cuddle up together. Let's do this. It's going to be a nice little battle. All 9 of us here in the arena.
You're not close enough. Get closer.
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 I want to be able to hear your breath.
DRG versus TSM for a spot in the top 8. Jump into it on Seoul Under Construction.
Alrighty. And there it is. We have Grapple. Grapple Light.
Yep, there we go.
Yes!
Already
I told you.
crazy.
You didn't know what was going to happen.
And it makes perfect sense on a map like Seoul. You've got a lot of vertical angles that you can just fling yourself up to a top floor on, and it will work out for you. You're already sitting down both the barricade and the dome. And TSM are like, yeah, fine, we'll let you burn through those cooldowns and engage just a few seconds later instead.
Oh, but Gaga already down to just... Oh, he's down immediately. And Arco is looking absolutely fresh and better than ever. 93R finds 2. E is alive, does have the opportunity to come in here with the defibs, but oh, Waltz, yeah, this didn't go very well for DRG.
It did not. TSM just kind of rolled through them. It felt like a steamroller just kind of approaching them, and DRG didn't run from it. They were separated, and they just slowly got squished.
They did the thing where in a movie, something like a tidal wave is coming down a hallway, and instead of ducking into a door, they just kept running straight at the camera.
Yeah,
you know
it's coming from that. Well, the camera doesn't let you. You can't go off.
Yeah, the camera's on like a track going backwards.
Yeah.
You know, it's that movie cliche of like a guy who's definitely about to die and doesn't think about going left or right.
And I think DRG is about to dive into that exact same thing yet again, because we see Hathaway coming up through. We do have a gateway potentially being thrown in. And the question is, which half of this equation is going to die first?
Well, I'm hoping to see Hathaway use that grapple to get some interesting movement. That might be why they picked it on Soul under construction. He could backstab Visions up on this high ground if he uses it properly, but Visions, he's aware of this. He finally spots him, has to hit that shot, drops down immediately. Hathaway getting the better part of that engagement, just keeping away, but they're in there. Hathaway has spotted Arco. They have eyes on each other. The light battle goes the way of Arco. He takes him out. Only 2 left, and they're looking to finish this off.
Oh, but Arco, the shots are clean, but still not connecting where they need to. Does allow E to get the res on a Hathaway, but it is a little bit of a troll. That is honestly a feed res if I've ever seen one. That's going to be enough time for at least one more team fight, but TSM does look comfortable here, Jerry.
Very comfortable so far. We haven't had any proper questions asked by DRG. It just hasn't happened. We need to see something from them that will suggest they have a chance. So far, we've seen nothing. So, really nice positioning here. Everyone doing some scouting here on different corners of construction for the side of TSM.
Oh, that snapshot from the repeater. It is... I can never use it, but it's so flashy when it uses. But DRG, they have a little bit of time left, about 30 seconds to do so. Doing some damage, forcing Visions back with that repeater. He gets on the high ground. He has eyes on Apollo, but the dome shield cannot be blocked. He doesn't have the glitch there. Winched in. He has to stay alive, but E, he's going to go down. Hathaway as well. It's only Gaga. He's the last one left. No one dead yet on the side of TSM. The health is coming back. He's being pushed. He's not even going to be able to take out one. Arco finishing that off, and the first cash out is going the way of TSM.
It feels as though DRG aren't even really engaging as a team. They're taking a lot of 1v1s, and they're just being diffed. TSM are better. Do not take 1v1s against this team. Like, that's the one thing you shouldn't do. And I feel like, at the moment, DRG needs to rapidly change their approach to things here. We see Arco and the rest of TSM, Arco and Co, if you will, moving towards Vulcan.
R and Co.
No, that doesn't work. You tried.
Who's Co?
See, you don't Hathaway with words like I do.
Yeah, that was really good.
You get what I did there?
That one was better.
He Hathaway with the grapple hook. He Hathaway with the kill feed, the wrong side of it seems, as he keeps showing up there.
Yeah.
Arco puts him in the box.
He Hathaway with his trophy appearing in place of his body. And TSM, they just dove all the way over on top of Petronel Plaza. And E, last alive, he's going to be able to dive away with some sort of survivability. TSM, they are hot on his tail, and that cash out is hot underway.
This is just not going the way of... As it gets wiped again, Visions is just a sniper with that repeater right now. Like you said, they're engaging in a weird way. They're not together. I also haven't seen Hathaway use the grapple in a way that makes sense. The benefit of grapple is you can get to some really weird angles. You can show up in places they don't expect you to do so. And it feels like just so tepid. It doesn't feel like they're being in places they need to be. The movement is not there.
Yeah, TSM has really good pacing. They've got really good tempo throughout this, and DRG just isn't able to catch up. I mean, they haven't had one team fight that feels like they're the ones that are engaging. I think it's because of these gateways. These gateways are coming in, and because your light is on that grapple cooldown means that light can't get engaged in the fight the same way. And DRG continues to do it again and again and again. And this time, all they can do is just reset. And this is the issue with grapple, is that you can use a grapple to get your team across the map instantly, but it's kind of like the Pharaoh's curse.
But they're not even doing that. They're just sitting, they're using the jump pads. Like that time, he took the jump pad up there, he threw a gateway. It was so obvious. It's the same thing a dash would have done. He hasn't used it.
Even then, with a dash, you can go in and then go out. With a grapple, you can either go in or you can go out, but only one of them. And
I want to see them wrap around to the hotel side of under construction. There, the grapple is going to be harder for them to take an eye on, and they can get it. Again, he just takes the jump pad. Hathaway, very exposed right now, is already taking damage. He has to survive. He has the grapple. He can go ahead and get back, but he hasn't even thrown the gateway yet. His team isn't even there. TSM absolutely dominating right now. They're just picking them out of the sky. The shots are not missing. Guga, E, so low. They're already down again. TSM is just running them right now, keeping them shut out. Nothing can be done. It's Hathaway down. TSM did it in 2.
that's map 1 complete, and TSM, they're one step closer from that sweet, sweet sleep.
Speaking of steps closer, they barely needed to step foot off of the construction in that entire map.
Right.
They left to pick up a vault at one point, and they were right back onto it.
That also wasn't even on the ground. They went up to Petronel Plaza and then right back. They stayed at rooftop level.
Yeah, the floor was made of lava. And, well, at the moment, it looks like DRG are swimming in that lava and burning to a crisp.
Yeah, floor's made of lava and DRG was made of coins. But Waltz, that was really good from TSM. I mean, TSM, they just got annihilated by Alliance, but this is a good come to form for them.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, like, DRG got to where they are by playing incredibly well, and I think that speaks to, you saw TSM do well against Space Station. You saw them do well against Alliance. Like, they have it in them, and the shots were just hitting. We see Arco just shredding with that 93R, getting a nice two-piece right there. Finishing this off, Visions with that repeater is just snapping people apart. It is incredible to watch them control the skies.
I will say, for DRG, they're doing a great job, especially given the fact that their coach is subbing in for their heavy. Quayle Rice is not playing right now for DRG, and that's why Guga is in his spot. And given all of that, it's impressive that DRG has made it this far, and it's a really good thing that this isn't going to be the elimination match, but it didn't look great for DRG. But for TSM, this looked a lot closer to how their first map against Alliance was.
Yeah, and DRG so far have not had a good time in their 3 versus 3s. They've taken one map off of Pioneers today. Most of their success throughout this tournament has been seen in cash out. They've actually been a really strong cash out side.
Yeah.
But here they are meeting more than their match in yet another North American side that are just that bit much better than them at the 3 versus 3. When you remove all the chaos, when you get it down to brass tacks, DRG might not have what it takes to get through them, but they can turn it around. It has to start here and now.
I think we're going to see a much better performance from DRG in this map, on a map that is less abusable as Soul under construction. That high ground just allows them to control absolutely everything. Moving into Fortune, I do think we're going to see them do a little bit better. Back on that dash, he decides he wants that. I imagine that was maybe a map-specific pick, but we are going to be posturing around that vault. DRG, the first ones to get to it.
Yeah, and it is fair to say that Soul is quite difficult to manage and very easy to control if you're on that defense, but Fortune isn't that much higher up the list when it comes to maps that are easy to attack. You establish yourself a power position here, such as we are seeing right now, from DRG in fact, then it can be difficult to unseat, but of course TSM are the ones with the box in hand. Oh no, yeah, they are the ones with box in hand just creeping along underneath.
A lot of posturing from these teams right now, taking it slow, even allowing the gateway to expire.
I mean, think of it this way as well. They learned a lot from their fight up against Alliance, and right now, even though they take the same engagement path, they look a lot more ready for what's on the other side of it. E just down to 50 HP, and Hathaway does survive that engagement there. You can definitely tell the fatigue is setting in for TSM, but they look a lot more confident in this fight than they did against Alliance.
Now they do. This is a real... this feels like just reward for their tumultuous times over the past few days, getting here and making sure that they can compete. They do need to, you know, win this still. There's still work to be done. They can't hit that wall anytime soon, but they win this cash out, or they win the next 2 cash outs rather, and they are through to tomorrow. They can get that rest. They can come in probably even better for tomorrow. Now, we see as Arco regroups with the rest of his team as they try to attempt this spawn hold. This is Now, DRG, they are prepped for this. We can see the Vanish Bomb and the Dash. Will the Gateway work out for his team, though?
Yeah, I mean, TSM adapting in real time off the back of that Alliance match.
Wow.
They're now doing exactly what Alliance did to them. This is an adaptation from TSM.
That focus fire.
Just focus entirely.
That focus fire was incredible.
Yeah.
You saw how quickly each member of DRG died one at a time. There was no breathing room for any one of them. And unfortunately, that wasn't reciprocated. DRG were not training their vision on one particular target there.
Oh, but TSM was training visions on a lot of particular targets.
Exactly. They forced the same spawn again, Ardy.
Yeah, again and again, off of the Engimo building, and no amount of reality shield will protect you from these bullets here from Visions. Hathaway, 1 HP, survives, but costs him everything. DRG still, remember, this is only fighting for Sector 5. They're not even making their way into Sector 6 Hospital yet. Apollo takes a ton of damage there, but he's not even in danger of dying yet. Visions isn't healing him up just yet, though. Finally, that heal beam connects. But now, TSM, they've crossed back into Hospital. So DRG, they've done the first stage of this approach. Now it's time for the rest.
Great game of protect the precedent there to keep Apollo alive, and only 30 seconds left to hold on to this. They have the tools, they have the utility to do this. An interesting flank coming out there from the Hathaway, and he does get taken out after dealing massive damage to the light, but Apollo cleans him up. 3 versus 2. Giga now trying to stick this steal, but forced down, and that's going to be rough. It's a brawl around the point with domes and everything, but the bullets fly in favor of TSM. Giga taken out, and TSM once again claim a cash out. No response yet from DRG. I don't think they've won a single team fight in this best of 3 yet, Ardy.
And just like that, our last match of the night is potentially down to the last cash out.
Yeah, TSM have somewhere to be. That's what I'm getting right now, is that they are very conscious of the schedule here and wanting to wrap it up as soon as possible. Power to them. They are doing so well to play this Fortune Stadium. Just like we've seen, you know, the best teams in the world do for the past however long. They've picked up this method. They've learned so quickly.
It's incredible how well teams have started to figure out Fortune Stadium. Similar to Sis Horizon, it's one of those maps that has just been taken apart at its very seams. Teams learning how it works, where things to go, where to go, what you need to do in every single moment. It's beautiful to see these strategies and new ones start to develop. DRG looking to get their feet underneath them on this one. They have been so close so many times, but how did they deliver?
I think that the only way that DRG is going to be...
Well, that's a good start. They already got one down.
Yeah, by taking on Arco first. Apollo is going to clap back, though. Visions also gets the res immediately. And, well, Gaga, though, he is going to be good for 1, very least. But DRG, you need to get a little bit more than just that.
You can't give us hope like that, DRG. that was so close. They got the entry kill, and then he just got rezzed, and suddenly TSM win every fight after that.
This was TSM, though, at their absolute greatest.
Oh, yeah,
right now.
absolutely. And that was an improvement by DRG, but it was a minuscule improvement, and you've got to improve so much more than that because the bar has been set, unfortunately, far too low in this series.
Ooh, this is a good spawn for DRG.
It is. That's really unfortunate for TSM because they might not have their eyes trained in that direction. Visions, though, thankfully holding back. And it looks as though TSM waiting for that intel, hear the footsteps of DRG, and are now poised and ready.
Poised, ready, waiting, but Hathaway has a nice pitch angle. Visions, though, also on that same angle. This is actually going to be a little bit interesting as Arco takes the first bit of damage here. Apollo does get healed back up right now. Arco needs to take a little bit of a dive back for DRG. They're on their way to collapse in on the cash out, but TSM, they're a little bit scared to peek out of these windows.
Good.
In fact, they just took a little bit of damage.
Here we go. This is the move that they should have been making a long time ago, but they managed to get it. They bring that winch, take it indoors, dropping the charge and slam for the advantage of the Witch Guarantee, but now they have to win the fight, and that has been their enemy so far. Apollo turns and burns, not 1, but 2. The shack attack from the heavy of TSM. He's been so effective with it today, leaving only Hathaway alive for DRG. They're very happy to let him spend some time just lingering, and it's now left DRG with only 50 seconds to try and turn their fortunes around, or TSM will be booking their spot in tomorrow's day 2.
Yeah, this is TSM's moment here. Day 2 awaits them. A night of rest and recovery. For DRG, they'll have a chance as well.
There is a chance, of course. If DRG manage to win the match at the very start of tomorrow, then they will continue, but it is also an elimination, so TSM looking to get that skip ahead of the queue. And they're doing quite well to do it right now. Here's the attempted steal. The goo comes out. The RG have been decent at these, but Guga is already down. He has expended his dome, though. That might be enough, but no. Apollo and Arco converge. And Apollo with the RPG. Fireworks to end it. TSM explosively book their spot in tomorrow's top 9.
TSM look like they have just flipped the roles entirely. They just eliminated DRG the way that Alliance eliminated them the entirety of that last series. What a beautiful come to form for TSM for the NA dominance.
NA true dominance. What a performance from these people on the. From
Do
these
they
boys
not
on the
know
stage.
they've won?
They might not. Someone let them know they
They
won.
think there's more. They think that there's more games. There we go. You can rest.
That's the jet lag right there.
TSM, go home. Go to the hotel. You're coming back tomorrow.
They don't even have the energy to celebrate. Every single game they've won today, they've looked so chill about it. And I can't believe that they've won. That doesn't look like a winning team right there, but they've just utterly demolished DRG.
Yeah, but hey, at the very least, they are safe. But it's not over yet for these teams, even though our last day 1 matches are happening technically on day 2. There is still 1 slot available for the Phase 3 section of our bracket.
Yeah, the top 8 still has 1 slot remaining. We haven't filled that all the way out yet. And TSM really punching their ticket in a very convincing fashion in that match. They had so many chances. The 3rd time truly is the charm for TSM, and this time they've made it into that top 8. We have a little bit longer of a run for DRG, unfortunately. Incredible stuff from them, but we do have a bracket to look at as we wrap up the night. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at that here.
Yep.
We have said goodbye. 16 teams started. We've said goodbye to 7. 5 Fears, FN Esports, Gen G, Vanguard Gaming, Pulsar, King Zero, and Apes. They have all played their hearts out. They have done so much, and it was not quite enough, but they have given us a hell of a show. It is incredible work from them. Thank you so much to all of those teams. We do have, I believe, some brief clips, actually, from the matchup between Team Secret and Ape Squad, though. I know, Artie, you're probably pretty excited about that.
Fantastic.
Pretty excited about this. I mean, Sonsoyo, I do love you to death, but at the same time, death comes in many forms, coins being one of them.
Yeah.
Well, look, here it is.
Match.
Now, this match was very important, Waltz.
Also on Fortune Stadium as well, Waltz.
Also at Fortune Stadium, you know. The Rio's going to run out of fortune cookies at this rate. Secret getting that first flip. Over again on the Sector 6. Everybody loves being at Sector 6. Looks like it didn't quite work out for Ape Squad on that one. Second box getting plugged by Secret. Did they ever lose it? That's the question. It seems like they were in command of this, but Ape Squad definitely putting up a fight here.
Yeah, so by winning this one, that puts Team Secret up against DRG. See which team will find the last qualification slot.
In the first game tomorrow.
The very, very first game tomorrow. One team will go home and one team will continue playing. Our very first game tomorrow could be elimination. Check this out. Elix's last second steal to clutch that one out. What a match. What a match.
Absolutely incredible match. There's our second one. Secret again, just getting that first start. Looks like they're wiping Ape Squad very, very quickly. Doesn't seem like they're skipping a beat. Really in control of that. That's what we expected from Team Secret from the very, very beginning. We know that they're an incredibly strong team. We know what they can do, you know, and I was surprised to see them fall so much, but finally they've claimed their spot.
They've finally claimed their spot. Well, I've almost finally claimed their spot. Technically, they did claim the spot to day 2. It's just, well, it's still phase 2. Not at phase 3 just yet, but we'll see which team is going to be able to make that phase 3 spot. Waltz, it's been a long day.
It's been a long day. We are going to have to say goodbye. But it's been, what a day it has been. 16 teams that we started with, 7 that we had to say goodbye to, 9 teams tomorrow. It is going to be an absolutely incredible start to the major, but there is so much more. I have been Waltz. I have been joined by Artie, Jerry, Rio, and Sonsoyo. Absolute stellar team. Nothing like it. I'm blessed to be. And Kelly.
And not to mention the fact that we've had the beautiful and illustrious Oscar, not only Neon Guts as well.
Incredible work from everybody.
So many beautiful faces. And Thixie. How can you forget Thixie?
And to every staff, everyone working behind the scenes, it has been an absolute labor of love. But there is more coming tomorrow. It is not over yet. We will see you then. Tomorrow we crown our grand champion. To all the fans, to everybody watching both those virtual and in the arena, we will see you tomorrow. Thank you and good night.
Have you lived your life in filth and...